Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Tarot 1123. I just thought I'd put out a little bit of a small video in terms of letting y'all know about some schedule, the live stream schedule type of a situation. I know every Friday I have live stream 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, that sort of a thing. But unfortunately, this Friday, the 15th, I will not be able to have the live stream because I am actually going to be, I suppose my plane lands at around 6 o'clock or something, Central Standard Time. And since this is an international flight, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to, get my luggage and do all that stuff and drive home and get on live stream. So I decided that I will not do the live stream for this Friday. For a brief moment, I thought, okay, maybe I should do the live stream on Saturday instead to make up for this. But in all honesty, I'm going to be a zombie. It's international flights and etc. It does take a little bit out of me. I mean, I'm beginning to see that, the older I get, I don't bounce back as quick from these long haul flights like I used to. Struggle a little bit with jet lag and all the other stuff. So if I'm wide awake, then yeah, because of the time difference, etc., then yeah, I do it. But I don't want to risk it because if I just completely get knocked out, then I'll be like, I just won't make it. I want to be alert and that sort of a thing. So I'm thinking about it. I'm going to see how I feel when I get back home that evening. Most likely I will not. This Friday evening, I won't even get on my computer. I just want to go home and, kind of just reunite with Mark and my puppy dog Bernie. So and just relax and catch up and do all those things. So on Saturday morning, if I feel like I'm okay, then I might set up a live stream for Saturday evening. I don't know. I'm not making a commitment at this point in time, but we'll just go with the flow. So please excuse me. This Friday, October 15th, 2021, there will not be a live stream. But regardless of whether I decide to schedule a live stream for Saturday, October 16th, or even Sunday, then even whether I do it or not, next Friday, which is going to be, the 22nd of October. Of course, I'll be back on schedule and all that stuff, and then we will continue on with the Friday 7 p.m. live streams. So that's as far as that is concerned. And I also want to make known that I am not going to be doing any personal or private readings until after the 21st of October. Actually, 21st of October, I'll be opening up my scheduling calendar again, simply because I have a lot of stuff I need to catch up with when I go back home. And, just kind of get sorted out and organized and, the usual stuff, catching up and my other stuff that I need to do. So just wanted to share that with you guys. A lot of people ask me, I've been receiving emails about doing a video for Jelani Day. Apparently his body was found and it was not in a good state and all that good stuff, and nobody knows what happened or what caused his death. So that I think I will definitely consider doing. That's one of those. I will definitely do those. And also, see, I forget, I'm having a senior moment right now. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm having a hiccup right now. That case where this lady who was I think she was a fitness instructor or something, and and she was killed at the, oh God, I don't even know where at. Was it at the church where she was conducting fitness classes or something like that? And she was killed, and they actually had video footage of who they think is the killer, but they've never been able to find out. I'm going to do a video for that. Okay, I just kind of blanked off there for a second. So again, thank you all very much, for your understanding in advance. Thank you. Just bear with me. So this Friday, definitely no live stream. Couple of other things I wanted to discuss in terms of, my consultations and how I go, etc., like how I go about doing it. So usually when people send me an email and they say, hey, we are interested in a personal or private reading, I have a format, like details as to how I do the charges, etc. Email it to them, and it's all very clear, very, very clear. It's a little bit long, but I always tell people, please, please, please read it in its entirety. If you have the patience to actually read it, you will have no questions whatsoever. Absolutely no questions. So please be patient and read it. It may seem boring and oh my God, whatever. I have bold print, I have different inks, yada yada. So read it in its entirety. It'll explain everything so clearly. Once you decide what kind of a reading you want, then you go and make your payment on PayPal, and then when I get that confirmation, that's when I schedule it, and I do my very best to try and schedule it within 5 days, within the 5 days of receiving the payment. So 5 days is the latest or the longest you'll have to wait. I try and schedule it as soon as I can, because people are paid, they want the service. So I'm not one to say, 2 weeks down the line or 3 weeks down the line. But if I'm kind of really booked up, then I'll let you know before you make the payment. I'll say, hey, you know what, I don't have any availability until this particular date. So, you all decide, because it's your money, I want you all to feel comfortable that, hey, you're making this payment, and your money is not going to run away, anything like that. So once you make your payment, once I get that confirmation from PayPal, I'll reach out to you. I'll send you a couple of options in terms of dates and times. You pick what's best suited for you, and then I get a confirmation again, once you respond, I'll be like, okay, it's confirmed, so on and so forth. But once I receive the PayPal confirmation and I send you those 2 options or 3 options of my availability, and you respond back with what fits you the best, in that email, I want you to also mention your country code and your cell phone number. Yes, country code. Because I have a lot of clients who call me from all over the world, and I can't just assume that, everybody lives in America, right? So please specify your country code and your cell phone number, okay? And also make sure you send me your date of birth. I have also written in my little information sheet how I format it. Is it month, date, and year, or vice versa? Follow that format, please. There is a reason why. This is because of the international audience that I have. The Europeans have a different way of writing. Whether they put the month first or the day first is different than the way we do in America. So be cognizant about that, and that's why I very specifically say, put it in this format so that, there's no confusion. Once I start putting a lot of energy into all this, and I start doing all this preparation ahead of time for your head readings and all, and only for you to come back and say, oh, 6/7/66 is not June 7th, it's actually July 6th. That makes a whole bunch of difference. It's like a completely different person's, date of birth. So please be cognizant of that. And yes, time of birth is very, very important. And city and state of birth also. Cities, and of course for international audiences, city, state, and country, because Paris, Texas, and Paris, France, right? So if you just say Paris, well, Paris where, right? So please be specific. I'm not trying to be a smarty pants and asking you those questions. It's very simply this. Paris, Texas has got completely different coordinates as opposed to Paris, France, right? That sort of a thing. So another thing is, I've noticed, please be cognizant of that. Another thing I've noticed is people kind of get a little bit, I don't know whether they think they're being smart or whether they're testing me or whatever. Instead of sending me city, state, and country, they actually send me the coordinates. Y'all, look, I know how to look up coordinates. I know how to do all of that, but it's like such a waste of time. Why can't you just put your city, state, and country? You really want me to go and plug in that into the Google Earth and then figure out which city it is, and then come on, right? So please, I would really appreciate you all not sending me, coordinates. I can tell you the number of cases. Anyway, I won't get into it. So that's that. Another thing I also want to say is I only use PayPal for payments. Please, no, I only use PayPal for payments. I've never had a problem with PayPal, knock on wood, they've always served me well. But again, I beseech you, when you select PayPal, please select friends and family, or say donation. Because if you don't, then PayPal charges a service fee and they charge tax. And that tax and service fee, I'm going to have you pay for it. Because if I'm going to pay service fees and taxes, then that has to go to you guys, right? Because the system of retailing, that becomes a retail service. So please understand, I'm coming at it not from a perspective of greed, but that is how accounting works, and the IRS and this and that, and gets really messy. So if you do, people say, well, Kirtana, if you want to do, what's the word you call it? If you do donations, then, you're not going to get taxed. Yeah, I do get taxed, just so you know, I do. Even if I accept a donation, I do get taxed. So just so you know, I just don't want it to be a double whammy. I shouldn't have to pay twice for the same thing, just as you wouldn't pay twice for the same thing, correct? So that's that. And another thing I want to say is I use only WhatsApp, or I only use WhatsApp. Now there is a reason. Let me first do a disclaimer here. PayPal doesn't pay me anything, neither does WhatsApp pay me anything. I don't get anything from them, okay? The reason I use these services is because A, it's free, right? And B, it's like at least registering on PayPal is free and registering on WhatsApp is free. Once you start transacting on PayPal, you have personal accounts or you have these kind of a business accounts, and then of course that's a whole different ball game, right? The people who, supposing you're paying $60 for a consultation, they will minus whatever their fees and their taxes are, and then they will transfer only the balance amount to me. And so not only do they take their fees and taxes, when I put in all that money into my accounting, when I'm doing my year-end taxes, I end up paying taxes on that too. So it's like, why should I pay twice for the same thing, right? Nobody has to. So understand that, I hope. So unless somebody knows something else that, I don't know, please share, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now with WhatsApp, the reason I do WhatsApp is very simple. Anybody from anywhere in the universe can call anybody else anywhere else in the universe. You do not need to have a cell phone connection, like you don't need, it runs on internet, it's a voice over internet service, right? And internet is always cheaper than actually a cell phone bill, because if you go overseas and call, think about it, like, international calls and all these guys rip you off, they charge you like 25 cents a minute or whatever the heck it is. And it's crazy. And these consultations, for those of y'all who have had personal readings, they're not like a 5-10 minute call. They are at the very minimum 45 minutes, and they go on to 2.5, 3 hour calls, depending on what you pick, right? And what you're paying for. So that is like a ridiculous amount of money. So please know that I use WhatsApp because it's, first and foremost, it's very, very easy to download on your phone. It's a free app. Okay, it is compatible with all kinds of phone, Android, like operating systems, be it Android, be it Microsoft, be it whatever. It is compatible with all brands and models of cell phones. Your Samsung, your Nokia, if they still make Nokia. Remember Blackberries? Yeah, Blackberries. And then your Apple and whatever the brands you have, right? It is compatible at every single cell phone and brand and model. So it's free. It takes you 30 seconds to download the app, literally 30 seconds. Once you download the app, please register your number on WhatsApp. Just downloading the app doesn't in any way automatically register your number. It does not. Wait, is the brightness on? All of a sudden I felt like it, yeah, hang on. Yeah, there we go. So please register your number on WhatsApp. Once you register your number on WhatsApp, then what happens is either you send me an invite, usually I do it. I send an invite message, like a text message, say, hey, I'm on WhatsApp and that sort of a thing. And then you accept that message and then we are good to go. We can call and you can call me, I can call you. Again, one more time, I do the calling just to make it simple for you guys and a little bit easier. Now, another reason why I stick to WhatsApp is because even if you're within the United States, right, not everybody has unlimited minutes, like talking minutes. and some people have limited resources, so you don't want to worry about it. So that's why I'm like very, very clear, let's do WhatsApp, and then you don't have to worry about that, but make sure you have internet connection. I recently had I forget the young lady's name. I recently had a appointment booked for her. After going through everything, I don't know what happened, what she did. She decided to call me, and she called me like on my regular call. She didn't call me on WhatsApp. She called me like she was calling me on a regular cell phone. I saw it and I was like, oh, this girl's going to get one big, big bill. So I told her right away, I said, stop, get off the phone, because you're not calling me on WhatsApp. You're dialing the number, you're dialing like somebody sitting in the next house by you. It's not a local call at all, but it's coming across as a local call. And this is an international call that you're making. This phone bill is going to run to a couple of $100. So stop, get off the phone. And then I emailed her and I said, look, I'll be more than happy to, reschedule this for you so that you get your whatever WhatsApp all taken care of. Or I'll return your money, man. I'm okay with that. I'm not in the business of greed, right? And so she said, well, if you can please refund my money. I was like, girl, you got it. Here you go, take your money. So, and I was a bit disappointed too, because, really, in all honesty, that I didn't have to return her money. I mean, really, once you pay for the service and you don't make it, I didn't have to return. Or I could have just continued to gab with her and done the consultation and hung up the phone, and if I hadn't told her, then she'll get her cell phone bill and she'll have a heart attack. Well, I don't want to do that, I would never do something like that. That's why right away, like within the first 3 seconds, I told her, girl, you realize how you're calling me. So anyhow, I went and returned her money, and hopefully someday she'll reconnect with me. If not, at least I can rest assured and saying, poor thing, she's not going to get a sticker shock with the $300, $400 cell phone bill because she made a mistake. I didn't call her, she called me. So anywho, so that happens. So take care of that. Be sure of, that's why I make sure, let's set up WhatsApp. I'll send you the invite. And if you read my, I keep thinking spreadsheet, but if you read my information sheet, everything is so clearly put. But now I've also realized that, people try to kind of push my buttons a little bit. I don't do 1 question, 2 question, 3 question business. I don't do that. Other astrologers or tarot readers may do that. I don't do that. A lot of people say, well, you can send us a voice recording or send us an email. I don't do that. I like that interaction of having people, speaking to them, hearing their voices. It's almost like doing sitting across a table and talking. Sometimes I get on the video call on WhatsApp. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I just don't, because if I don't have my little stand, for your cell phone, you get those little table stands, and if it is somewhere else in another part of the house or whatever, I'm not going to leave everything and run off to get it. So I'll be like, and then there's no point like holding the phone in one hand and doing cards. It doesn't work that way. So I always tell them, look, I'm not doing a video call. Let's just do a regular voice call. But as people have known, those who have had consultations with me, I have my little stand. I get them on WhatsApp. I actually have it on like, what you call that thing, where you can see each other, the video call, and so they see the cards just the way you guys would see it on the live stream. The cards I pick and everything, they see everything, and that level of interaction is very much appreciated by everybody. I mean, I've never had anybody say that, oh, this is the worst, like, I can't do it. Sometimes, yeah, connectivity issues, maybe there's a little bit more like noise or scratchiness or, whatever, white noise on the phone. I always tell people, try to be in a place where you're calm and undisturbed and there's no loud noises around, because I want you to hear what I say and I want to hear what you're saying, and through the middle of these phone calls, if it gets too scratchy and too disturbing, and if your voice is continuously breaking, then I'll say, listen, honey, let's stop now and let's reschedule it. But if you don't set up after going through all that and giving you the heads up and giving you 3 days time, 5 days time, everything, on the day of the appointment, I want to make that call to you and I see that you're not set up on WhatsApp, I am not going to wait around. the consultation is cancelled and I am not going to refund your money, because I've given you more than 3 days, more than 72 hours of heads up, to enough time to set your WhatsApp. If you don't know how to do it, to ask a neighbor, to ask a friend. You don't need more than 3 days. Worst case scenario, take it to your cell phone, whoever your provider is, and ask them to help you set it out. You can actually do it, like call them, put them on speakerphone, and they'll tell you how to download the WhatsApp thing. So please don't at that point in time come and tell me, oh, I forgot to set it up, I'm so sorry. No, that's not right. I've given you enough time, enough time. So then I'm not going to refund your money. You just forfeit it, because this is my time and this is my business, right? That time I could have dedicated it and blocked it for somebody else who follows the instructions and who does everything on their side that they need to do to facilitate this reading, right? I cannot be doing and bending over backwards to accommodate you all just because you all don't know how to install WhatsApp. It's not part of my job or my consultation to walk you through how to download WhatsApp or how to figure out PayPal. That's something you guys need to figure out. A couple of times I have done it. I'm like, whatever, let me just help these people. But then I realized I feel like people were kind of trying to take advantage of me and saying, oh, I couldn't download it. I couldn't access PayPal. Can we anyway go ahead with the reading and I'll pay you later? See, when a person says something like that, for me, it's a red flag. It's like, honey, you don't intend to pay. You absolutely don't intend to pay. If you had come right up front with me and said, look, I cannot afford to pay, I really would like a free reading, can you please do that for me? I would greatly appreciate it. When and if I can pay, then I'll make a payment, I would consider it. But people come right out at me and they say, I can't set up PayPal, I'm so sorry, PayPal is giving me trouble. Can we anyway go ahead with the reading and I'll pay you later? I'm like, yeah, no, it doesn't work. So I'm also getting a little, I've realized that, see, I try to accommodate people the best I can because stuff happens, right? And I am also generous. I know I am. Nobody can deny it. I've done a lot of free work. I do a lot of social service. But I also want people to understand that, look, don't take my kindness and the fact that I am a little accommodating to be a weakness. It is not. It is not a weakness. You have no idea. I mean, you haven't seen the other side of this girl, because I'm not a doormat. I'm not a pushover. I'm not a, just because I'm kind and I'm accommodating doesn't mean that, oh, you can get as many freebies out of her as you can. No, honey, it doesn't work like that. I know how to put a stop to such people, bothering me. So please be cognizant of that. And if you're not willing to abide by the information sheet, then don't even bother, go find somebody else. Like, don't even bother. Why are you wasting your time and why are you wasting my time? I made it very clear how I do it and how it's priced and everything. And then after all of that, when I always ask, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? When I say, do you have any questions, it is pertaining to the person I'm reading for. So if I say if I say a reading for a single person per consultation, then when I ask you, do you have any questions, that means I'm asking if you have any questions regarding this one person that we are doing this reading for in this consultation. And then you pop up and you say, oh, actually, I wanted to ask you about my husband's uncles, neighbors, dogs, cats, mouse. Then the answer is no. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. Another thing is, I always tell people, look, if you have forgotten any questions, sometimes you get to talk and we forget. I tell them, write down your questions, right? Before you get on the reading. If you've forgotten anything, I always extend the courtesy, and this is again part of my kindness and my generosity and trying to be accommodating. Send me an email within 24 hours or 48 hours and let me know about this consultation and ask me whatever question you might have missed pertaining to, again, the person that we read for. But here's what happens. People send me emails all the time and they're talking about, oh, it was a fantastic reading, I absolutely loved it, but I actually have a question regarding my cousin or my neighbor or same thing. No, honey, it doesn't happen that way. Okay, I'm not going to be answering those questions. Absolutely not. 2 weeks and 3 weeks after the consultation, if you still think you can send me emails asking me questions that you apparently forgot, no, I'm not. That's going to be a whole other reading. And you have to go through the same process of consultation, making the necessary payments, fixing up a time and doing all that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. Because I used to, yeah. But I noticed that people were trying to really take advantage of me. And I'd send an email and I'm saying, sorry, at this time I cannot do a reading. And then I get a nasty response, but I paid for it. Yeah, you paid for a reading for a single person 3 weeks ago, which per your own admission you were very satisfied with, which per your own admission you sent me an email and said how happy you were about the reading and thanked me so much and this and that and the other. Then after all these weeks of sitting and mulling over things, you suddenly pop up and say you want to ask a question regarding somebody else and I'm supposed to do it for you free of cost? No. So you go to the hairdresser, you get your hair done, and the hairdresser says, go home and wash your hair, and if you see anything, come back to me, if something needs to be tidied up or whatever, come back to me, I'll do it. You don't go back to her for 2 or 3 weeks, and 3 weeks later, you take your son and say, you told me come back to me if there's anything I can fix it. Now you wanted to do, you're trying to use that one kind of a little freebie and get your son a haircut. You think she's going to do it? She'll cut your son's hair, but she'll also charge you $35 or whatever the heck they charge. So no, y'all, that doesn't work like that. Another request I have is, please be respectful of the fact that I am sitting at my desk. I try my very best not to be disturbed. I focus my energies on you. It takes a lot of energy from me to do these readings and to channel and do all that stuff. I don't know how many of y'all are cognizant of it or even understand or even appreciate it. Y'all think I'm just opening a book and reading it. That's not how it is. Okay, you think, I'm sit here and I just, okay, fine. No, I make sure that you have my 100% attention. I expect you to have the same attention. I would think you would, because you are the one who called me or emailed me and want a reading. I didn't come out to you and say, I'm going to do a reading for you, right? So please show your own commitment. If I can commit myself to doing a reading for you, please commit yourself to doing what you need to do to get the best out of this reading for yourself. What does that mean? Make the phone call, everything. And this girl says, can you hold on a minute? I'm going through a drive-through. I need to get some food. It'll take only a second. And I was like, it doesn't take a second to go through drive-through to place your order and get your food. It never takes a second. Y'all, America is home to me. I know how that works. If there's any fast food chain that you can actually go and place an order and within a second you get your food, let me know, because I want to go to that place, to that chain restaurant, right? And then I'm waiting here and I was like, I'm going to hang up this call. I can't deal with this nonsense. But then I decided, I said, I better not do that, because I have to reschedule and go through the same thing and I have to deal with this person. And I don't want to deal with people who are so disrespectful. So I hung on. I did almost about 8 minutes. She gets her food. Okay. She puts her car in gear. I can hear all of this. Okay, and she's driving, and then all the crinkling and all that stuff, and she says, oh, hold on a second, I need to stop and eat, I'm really hungry. Okay, take a deep breath, and you can hear her take off the straw and jab it in a drink container and all that brown paper, and you can literally, and she's eating her food. That's fine. Look, people are diabetic, they could be diabetic, maybe your energy is low, maybe you're anemic, you need to eat on time. I understand, life happens, you got to nourish your body, right? But at the most, I have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a glass of water. I never sit here with my mouth full of food, chomping away and having conversations with you guys. First and foremost, that is socially unacceptable, right? It's not good social etiquette. Secondly, what makes you think you can get away with doing things like that? I mean, would you go to your doctor's office, sit there with chomping down your food and sit there and say, okay, doctor, would you do that? I hope not. I don't think the doctor's office will ever want to see you again. It's not right. Come on, grow up, okay? Be an adult, keep it classy. Or you can tell me, look here, Chana, I'm really, really sorry. I am so hungry. I'm about to keel over. I haven't eaten breakfast. I haven't eaten, whatever that case may be. I don't want to be rude and talk to you while I'm chewing food. Can you please give me 5 minutes? Let me eat my food and I'll call you back. Absolutely, honey. Absolutely. Go finish your meal and we'll reconnect. Absolutely. Absolutely, I will do that. Okay? But if you're sitting there drinking and slurping and doing, oh my goodness, don't do that. So I got done with that reading and I was like, I am not, she's flagged in my books. I will never do another reading for this person. And one more thing before I say anything, people, remember, if the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe doesn't fit, don't even bother. This is just another comedy skit. Just laugh and get on with it, right? Again, people badgering me with their emails. Oh my goodness, literally badgering me with their emails. 14 emails, 14 emails. Okay, boom, 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 14 emails. Ask me the same old redundant, stupid question. When I've clearly, first 8 emails, I was very hesitant about taking this case because right off the bat, I sensed that this was a little bit of a drama case. And I was like, whatever, let me get off my high horse. And sure enough, I should have trusted my instincts. The first 8 emails, the same old redundant questions. I was patient enough to answer, explained it, reprinted those particular parts, redirected her to go back, read the email in its entirety, still kept coming back, Finally, I was like, I'm done. I sent her an email. I said, I'm sorry, this is not a good fit. I cannot facilitate a reading for you or whatever. I am going to refund your money and you please, you need to find whoever, okay, do whatever. And I blocked her. Within 20 seconds, I get an email from her husband. He's claiming that this lady is a psychic, and first, of course, she absolutely loves you, all that good stuff. Yeah, fine, I appreciate that. Thank you for watching my videos and your comments. I always appreciate it. She's a psychic, she's a medium, she practices Ayurveda, this, that, and the other. If you were to speak to her over the phone, you would absolutely come to love her, this, that, and the other, and all that stuff. She just had questions. I'm like, dude, I mean, of course, I didn't tell him. I'm thinking here, dude, she's asking me the same redundant question like 20 different times. Does she not comprehend in English? I mean, come on, ask somebody else to explain it to you. And you think I really care whether you yourself are a psychic or a medium or a doctor or an astronaut or somebody who practices Ayurveda or whatever? Am I supposed to be impressed by that? Let me tell you a little something, honey bunches of oats. I do readings, personal readings, astrology, forecasts, astrology spreads for heads of states. I have been doing this for well over 34 years. I'm not going to tell you. You don't have to believe it. You can say, well, Kirtana, if you're not going to mention the names of these so-called heads of state, how are we to believe whether you really are doing it or not? Which is a valid question you have. But I don't have to disclose their identity. They know who they are. I know who they are. Every single year, every 6 months, they come to me. They want me to do their specific questions, or they have whatever it is. I do it. And just as an FYI, y'all, I charge the same across the board. In fact, those people, if they ever want to step forth and say it, they are very welcome to. I do not have a separate price list for a certain group of demographics or a separate price list for certain other group of demographics. I charge $60. Let's say, for example, for a particular period of reading, what I charge you is $60 and what I charge them is $60. For them, $60 is nothing. But for somebody else, $60 is a lot of money. That's not how so to me, it doesn't matter. They may say like, oh, it is such a great reading, let me give you a tip or whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this for a tip at all. People have actually offered me, I want to send you a gift, I want to do this, I want to do that, or whatever. I consider it a tip. So the moment the person says consider it a tip, my antenna gets up, because I'll be honest, man, I got some ego too, right? So I'm like, no, like just send me a thank you, refer me to somebody else. I appreciate that. People send me flowers, they send me chocolate. Yeah, that I have accepted in the past. I'm not going to lie about it, I've got packets of dry fruits, that sort of stuff, and rum cake and this cake and all that. Around Christmas time, they've sent me a bottle of wine, they've sent me flowers. Those I have accepted, no problem. But when you come at me and say, I'm going to give you a tip, I kind of get a little bit, like, dude, seriously. So anyway, that's just me and my high and mighty self. So people please, and then when I say no, I'm not going to do a reading for you at this time. I don't want people to get upset. And by the way, I have subsequently come to find out that a couple of people who I had denied readings for because of their idiocy, guess what? They've gone on my channel and left some nasty comments, and I'm like, okay, you're just showing yourself up for who you are, so I'm glad I'm not associated with you or doing a reading for you. So there, bye Felicia. So another thing is, if somebody keeps sending me an email and then I just right off the bat say, I'm sorry, at this time I am not going to be doing a reading for you, please leave it be. It's not because I'm mad at you. You'll know in my email responses whether I'm mad at you or whatever. You'll know it automatically, you will. And leave it be. People send me back, well, why not? And why not? Well, it's okay, I'm all right with it, but can you still do a reading for me? No, y'all. When I say this is not a right time for me to do a reading for you, trust my judgment. Trust me when I say that this is not a right time, not a right time. It's not because I'm cherry picking or whatever. No, it is not a right time. And no matter how much you push me, I will not accept an appointment and even if you send me the money, I will refund it right away. I will not do it. This is my spirit guides protecting me from something that maybe they feel I need protection from. And or it could also be, you're not meant to hear those messages now. Very simply, you're not meant to hear those messages. So please trust in that. I am not one of those psychics and mediums and whatever who's like, it's okay, who cares? You know, she wants a reading. I'll just spin something out, pull something out of my back pocket and just give it. Who cares, right? No, y'all, I don't do that. Because like I said, at the end of the day, my conscience has to be clear. And if my conscience is not clear, then how, I can't live with myself. That's just not right. So trust when I say that, and when the time comes and I say, email me back a couple of weeks later and we'll reconsider it. You can tell in my emails and my email responses whether I'm saying this because, you're being like crazy and I just don't want to have anything to do with you, or whether genuinely there is something blocking and I don't want to do it at that moment. You can tell by my responses. Absolutely, you can tell. So please be cognizant of those things. Another thing is, when people send me these emails and they say, can you do a reading for this case or that case? There have been times when I've been very cryptic and I've said, what is your relationship with this person? Okay, guys, just hang on. Let me turn on the light in the other room. I'll be right back. I forgot to turn them on. It's pretty dark. Okay, thank you. I'm not going to cut and paste or do anything editing. So thank you. So I was going to say, I'll be very cryptic and I'll say what is your relationship with this person? Why do you want this reading? And then they go into this whole spiel of, I am related to so-and-so or I'm whatever. And then if you claim that you're related to this person, then you should have the date of birth, right? That maybe you can get it off the internet, but you should also have the time of birth. Not every stranger, let me rephrase that. If you're not directly a part of the family or whatever, you will not have access to their time of birth. You may have access to the date of birth in the city and state they were born, but you won't have access to the time of birth. And if you don't, then clearly you have a hidden agenda. So why? And not everybody, well, let me rephrase that. Not everybody has a hidden agenda, but I have to be very careful too, because I have had situations where people who are actually part of or know the perpetrator or the criminal himself or herself has asked for a reading to see what's out there. Believe it or not, y'all, that has happened. I kid you not, it has happened. So I want to make sure that whatever I see, the information is not given to people who should not have that information, right? So if it's an ongoing case, particularly, will not. I had somebody. This is a currently ongoing case, and I'm not going to tell you which case. And so I got this email from this individual. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I couldn't tell by the email address. And this individual goes I am associated with, I said, who are you, how are you associated with the case? And they said, something to do with something. I won't go into the details. And FYI, I was part of the group that went and did this and went and did that. And I can send you proof, and sent me pictures of this particular person's parent, the deceased person or missing person's parent, standing in the middle of nowhere, but did not specify and say, FYI, this is the parent and this is me, to give me a reference, right? Nothing, just a picture of the deceased or missing person's parent in some place, whatever. I won't get into the details, I know what the place is, and say, here's proof that I am who I am. And I'm like, oh, okay, but here's the thing. No, the information that I said I will share only with their family, I will share only with their family. I don't care who you are. So if the parent wants to get in touch with me, let them. If not, I'm okay with it. And this individual responds back and says, well, if you really, how do I know you are really channeling so-and-so? So why don't you channel so-and-so and ask so-and-so what my relationship with the missing person is, then you'll know who I am. That got my hackles up. I said, first and foremost, I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Why don't you go and find somebody who can really channel for you and go take advice from that person. Bye, Felicia. I don't want to have anything to do with these people. They're coming in with the skepticism. A lot of people are skeptics, right? But then there's a way to approach right off the bat. Remember, you are the one who contacted me. I didn't contact you. You are the one who sought me out. And right off the bat, you are getting very almost defensive. Why? Why would you be defensive? What is your association with this case? Why are you right off the bat so defensive? You send me, there are so many stock pictures of, for example, Gabby Petito's parents and Dingalong's parents. There are stock pictures all over the internet. You can cut and crop and say, oh, by the way, look, I was here with this person, but you're not telling me which one of those people around that individual is you. Right? And then you say, oh, by association of a picture, that means you're part of that. No, yeah, no. I won't fall for that. I need concrete proof and evidence. And when I tell you, I am not going to share that information with anybody except the parent. And if the parent had reached out to me, I would have needed proof from the parents. I would have needed proof that they are who they claim, because that information is so sensitive. And yes, whoever the authorities are, they are aware of it. So when I say things like that, people get all their hackles up, and then they go on my channel and random videos and they just leave nasty comments. And I'm like, dude, really? I mean, you're just showing yourself up for who you are. So, all right, fine, whatever. Remember, karma's going to bite you in your behind. And, I'm just saying, it is what it is. So you seek me out and you come at me like this. It's like, no. A lot of people are skeptics. A lot of people don't believe it. They say science, it's the head versus the heart. It's science. And if science can't prove it, then it must be wrong. Hey, you're entitled to your opinions, man. I mean, it's all good. It's all good, y'all. It's all good. But if science cannot prove this spiritual, whatever this is, then can science at least disprove it? Science has never disproven it. So then how can you say this is bah humbug, right? So anyway, that's on another tangent. Couple of other things with regards to readings, y'all. Around the holiday season, that's another major thing. Right now we are going to come upon, before you know it, we have October 31st, Halloween's, and then before you know that, I'm sure Thanksgiving is like you can barely take a breather, and Thanksgiving is right on top of you, and then after that it's all downhill all the way, right? Like that the holiday season craziness. It's like hurry, everybody is like stressed. So how do we go about setting up readings, etc., and scheduling during the holiday season? That is something I really need to think about, because I know for a fact in October, November, for the Thanksgiving season, I'm not going to be home. I'm actually going to, well, I suppose I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to be enjoying and celebrating my Thanksgiving with family. So I'm going to basically shut down my computer. I promised them. I said I'm not going to do any readings or videos or anything. Of course, I line up a whole bunch of videos so they'll go out in time, but as scheduled. But I'm not going to be doing any consultations. So we'll either do them before Thanksgiving, that 2, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, whatever, and after that. Coming around Christmas time, for sure around Christmas time, those couple of days around Christmas, right? The 2 days before and the day after, I will try not to schedule any readings, but I have always noticed Christmas time is when people want readings a lot. Christmas and New Year's time. For some reason, Christmas time, people get so emotional and so whatever, and they want a lot. I've had people say, I will pay you 3 times what you're asking. Please, I need a reading. See, for me, guys, understand it's not the money. Listen, if I do what I need to do and be true to myself, I know for a fact the universe is going to bless me with money. I don't chase it. Okay, I really don't. Believe it or not, I don't chase it. So for me, if you're going to suddenly offer me 3 times as much and you say, look, I need a reading right now, that gets me thinking to, is this person, because let's face facts, y'all, okay, let's face facts. They always say around Christmas time is when they have the highest number of suicides, right? So right off the bat, me being me, I worry and I panic, and I'll be like, oh my God, I hope this person is not like in an emotionally fragile state, and I hope not, because I mean, like, it's terrible. Maybe they just want, if, you know, I've thought about these things, and it always scares me. It's like, maybe if I had said, like, God forbid, knock on wood, nothing like that has happened to me, knock on wood, thank my my spirit guides for keeping me safe and my people safe, my audience, my customers, my clientele, my, you know, my folks, my real family safe. I thank them and thank God for that. But you know, if God forbid something were to happen and I find out, I could never live with myself. It'll just completely rip me apart, because I'll feel like, oh my God, if only I had said, okay, fine, I'll do a reading, maybe this person would have been alive. Right now, I'm almost feeling like quite emotional about that, because it's such a scary thought, no? So when people push me like that, I really panic. Believe it or not, I panic. Okay, so I've never had an issue where, you know, somebody has like off themselves or anything like that. Thank God for that. But that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And then I usually reach out to them and I say, hey, is everything all right? What exactly are you wanting to know in the reading? You know, people don't want to say that. Sometimes it's because those are the only 2 days I have off from work and I just want to do this then. You know, that could also be the case. And every single time that people have pushed me thus far, knock on wood, it's always because like that is the only day I have to myself. I want to do this reading, and you know, I can sit, I can be patient. I don't have to cook because I'm going to my mom's house or my aunt's house. I don't have to worry about this, so I have the whole morning available. I just want to do my reading, and then I'll go for Christmas lunch or Christmas Eve or whatever. So then I'll be like, okay, fine, look, honey, please, okay, I understand, but let's find another time that you will be free. I'm sure you're going to be free. It's not like you're going to be occupied with your work and life 24/7. Fine, I'll do a reading for you on Sunday. And then they'll be happy. But when I ask, what are you wanting to accomplish in the reading? And if I sense, again, being a psychic or whatever, if I sense that the energy I'm getting back is a like kind of a fragile emotional state, then of course, right off the bat, I'll be like, look, let's just do this reading. Because I want to make sure that they are safe. Maybe they just need that little clarity, somebody to hear them, somebody to say something that, you know, they just want to feel that connectivity and that sort of, and it might save lives. So in cases like that, I will do it. But please understand, I won't be able to do accept every single person's request for a reading on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or the day after, because I have my family too, right? You know, the usual Christmas stuff where you just eat way too much and just pass out. So, you know, so please understand that, you know, and cut me some slack if I don't do appointments on those days. Again, I had another couple of people who just in the recent past emailed me and said, I'll pay you right now. Can I get an appointment right now? No, honey, I can't. That doesn't work like that. Okay, simply because I have other appointments, and if I don't have other appointments for the day, I have a life that I have to live, right? Maybe I have a doctor's appointment. Maybe I have to, I don't know, go to the grocery store and stock up on food for the next week, do my grocery shopping, or take Bernie for his vet's appointment, or, you know, whatever the case may be, or Mark and I are just wanting to go out for lunch or dinner or something like that. We usually don't go out that much. We are people who tend to eat at home a lot, but once in a great while, yeah, we do, because we are actually like quiet people, and when we go out, we hardly ever, like I said, you know, it's like we go, we eat, and we're back home, unless of course we're meeting some family members. And unfortunately, a lot of my friends are back in Cali, and his friends are I won't even go into which city and state. So, you know, it's like a few associates we have here, a few people, we do meet them maybe once in 3 months. We're happy with that. I mean, we are not like we have to socialize every Friday. We've been there, done that, so we're good. So, you know, I want to spend some time with Mark and vice versa, and we have a life. So I try not to do the right now reading unless if it's an emergency. Same thing. What are you wanting to accomplish? What is the urgency to have a reading right now? And based upon the answer, I will, and again, the feeling I get, if I get that this is like a sensitive thingy, I'll agree. I'll set aside what I need to do. I mean, because I truly, genuinely care for you. But if I sense that, okay, this is somebody who's just like instant gratification type of people, then I'll be like, no, honey, get in line. Deal with it type of thing, right? Another question I want to address is regarding our moderators. I know a lot of people have asked me quite a few times, you know, you need a moderator. I'll be more than happy to be a moderator, that sort of a thing. I appreciate all of that. I do. My stance with regards to moderators has always been, look, we are all adults, right? Do we really need another adult standing there and moderating us? I don't think so, because for the most part, 99.999% of the time, I haven't seen any major issues in our live chat streams or anything like that. Yeah, the 1 or 2 times we've had some little bit of, floozies get on there and try to kind of ruffle feathers, and you know, either I put them in place or somebody has. And most often I think people like that, you just ignore them, they get tired of it and they go away. Like, I don't have time to waste on you. But I still have an open mind. I will consider it. And I also want to be respectful of, you know, who I pick to be moderators, because there are a lot of you who I really feel that you all have been, you know, all of you are actually, you know, not one particular person. But if I pick a moderator, I want to pick somebody who can make the time or take the time out of their life to be available, right? The way I am available for my readings, they have to be available. If they cannot make that commitment, then that kind of throws everything. Or maybe I'll say, okay, the first week so-and-so will be a moderator, second week so-and-so. I haven't yet figured out all of that, y'all, and I really don't know what it takes. Like, what are the moderators? What do they do? Do they need to get paid? Do they need to get registered? Do they, of course, they have to have some access to my channel. What level of access is that? I haven't researched any of that. So I'll get to that for sure. If I feel that there is an absolute need for that, I will definitely do it. It's not that I'm feeling iffy about it. I just feel we're all adults, girl. I mean, like a boy, right? What's the need for that? So we'll figure that out as we go. But then again, I thank you all, you know, all of your people, whoever is on the live chat, you know, the real family, you all understand and know the kind of person I am already. I feel like y'all know me better than I know myself. And y'all, in your comments itself, y'all kind of fix the little boo-boos that these little floozies do and kind of fix it there. So I appreciate that. So that's as far as that is concerned. Now, another thing I wanted to say is, people have been asking me, you know, teach us this and teach us that and all. And I did say once I get back home to Texas, I will definitely set up something, either maybe a live chat session a month. I will dedicate it to teaching, you know, astrology, numerology, so on and so forth. I don't know everything. Just know that I don't know everything. Sharing knowledge. But I will tell you this upfront, y'all, there is a lot that I will not share. I will not share. There are some, I just won't. And don't push me for that, because same thing, you know, I'll be like, it's not a good fit, bye-bye, you know, that sort of a thing. Find somebody else who's willing to teach you that. Because that type of a knowledge is, if I sit here and say, you know, okay, how can I even explain it? I got this deck of cards and I'll say, okay, what is this card? Let me see what it is. It's like the Queen of Cups means this, and then the Nine of Swords means this. It's not like that. That kind of knowledge which people say, that's what we want to know. No, first and foremost, you may not have reached that level as yet to be able to comprehend what I'm talking. And secondly, that is some spiritual knowledge and spiritual downloads and stuff that I've learned from my grandfather, from my grandmother, that I have been it has been inculcated in me. And some of it is just my own understandings, my own comprehensions of spirituality and this and that and all that, it's nobody's business. I'm not going to tell you everything. I just am not. And also, as far as my cards are concerned, there are a lot of cards that I have designed myself. I have yet to market them because I feel there's so much in the market. There is so much in the market. What's it going to do for me to bring out something else? Like, I thought about it. In fact, just the other day, my younger son, he was like, but mom, this is so beautiful. Why don't you just try and sell it? And I'm like, oh my goodness, just going through the whole motions of doing all that, because I want to make sure that price point, it is reasonable enough, and if I'm putting in all that effort, I want to make some profit too. I'm not afraid to say that. The stock, the quality of the card stock has to be good. The printing has to be great. Everything has to be check 100%. And I am cognizant there will be a percentage of people who will think it's bah humbug and it's horrible, bad, this, that and the other. I don't know, a lot of people will just lap it up, because people, when I've kept it on my desk and all that stuff, my friends, some friends come over, they have like, hey, my aunt's in town, can I bring her over? And I'll be like, oh, fine. I haven't met you in a while. Friends as in my friends here in Texas, the few people I know. In Cali, I would always have people home. Always. My friends, right? They would bring like, hey, Kirtana, we're coming by, we're getting a bottle of wine. Can you do a reading? My one rule though is I will never consume alcohol and do a reading. I will never do a reading for a person if I know that they have consumed alcohol and they are there. You know what I mean? A personal reading or a private reading. I just won't do it. Slam dunk, I won't. Cali, they'd be like, oh, we'll come, I'll be like, look, you could bring a bottle of wine and all that. We'll first finish the reading, then open the bottle of wine. But if you want to open the bottle of wine, come and sit at my table and keep sipping and doing that, the answer will be, take your bottle, take your friend, take your sorry ass and get the heck out of my house. It ain't happening. So my friends knew. They were very clear about it. Let's just finish the reading. Hey, we'll make something. Hey, don't worry, I'll get something, potluck, whatever that may be. And then, we'll finish the readings, and then you drink your wine, and then we'll have dinner and have a whole bunch of fun, and then go your merry way. But during the reading, I first and foremost don't consume alcohol, like rarely per se in life, but I definitely don't consume alcohol when I'm doing this. And they don't. I will not allow them. I just won't. In Texas, I do have a few friends and associates who I've come to, be associated with, know them once I moved here. I have a couple of people who will call up and say, hey, can we come over? My aunt's in town, and my sister's come all the way from Florida and she wants to know, can you please? I'll be like, honey, forget making a phone call or whatever, the WhatsApp thingy, let's not do that, just come on over. And they know very well, if I so much as even smell alcohol on them, I'll be like, this is done, you're good, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm very clear about it. I have my own reasons. Then also in terms of my divination tools, how do I go it? What does this mean? What does that mean? I'm not going to be sharing every single bit and piece of it. I'm not. Right? You have to go on your own journey and discover your own stuff too. The general stuff, I'll definitely be able to share that information. Again, a lot of people may come back and say, well, this isn't this. It actually means that. Well, honey, here's the thing. I am sharing my knowledge. I'm not teaching per se. I'm sharing my knowledge as I know best. This is the knowledge I have, and I'm sharing it with you. You make of it what you want to. If you feel that what I'm saying is absolutely incorrect, just drop it. Go find somebody else who you think is correct and go follow that, right? Do that. It's not an ego thing for me. If you feel somebody else is more accurate at work, absolutely go for it. This is how I see it. This is what I know. This is how I have learned. This is what I have worked with. This is what has worked with me. So that knowledge I'll share. So I'm definitely seriously thinking of doing that at least like once a month type of thing. It may not be like 3-hour long live chat or whatever, but it'll be a general discussion on, sharing some information or knowledge with regards to gems, crystals, tarot, oracle cards, our pendulums, divination pendulums, our divining rods, the cowrie shells. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I do, the bones, that sort of stuff. I don't do that very often. Palmistry, all that stuff. It's interesting, as if nothing else, to gain knowledge. And again, astrology, how that plays into astronomy, like how big a part of it is it. And you go back, and the other day somebody was saying, could you please do a reading about, you know, aliens and that sort of stuff, you know. And people will be like, well, what the hell has aliens got to do with tarot or whatever? You'd be amazed how the connection is, you know, how it all kind of makes sense. So sharing stuff like that, and also sharing information about cleansing your house and you know, cleansing your aura, doing all those things. So definitely those are subjects I will discuss. I haven't yet decided which particular Friday I want to do it, but again, you know, Friday, everybody, you know, you guys as viewers, right, when I do my readings, right, and I do live stream, y'all are at home chilling, relaxing. Of course, you have your beverage of choice, whether it is wine or whatever. That's fine, because I'm not doing a personal or private reading for you. So don't get me wrong, have at it. Because for you, Friday, you're done with the work week, you're at home, you have your glass of wine, you had a nice meal, you got your jammies on, you took off your bra. Right, as women, right, it's like when the bra comes off, baby, we are absolutely relaxed and done for the day. We ain't going out again, right? We're done for that day. I'm sure all of you women will understand what I'm saying. I'm not being disrespectful. Hey, I'm a woman, okay, I can say it. And for you guys, you may be thinking, what the heck is this woman talking about taking off the bra, okay? So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So, you know, you're all relaxed, got your jammies on, your socks, and your pupper or your puppy dog or your little cat is on the couch by you. You're all set. Yeah, absolutely. Have your wine, have your drink. But when I said I don't allow alcohol is when I do personal readings at one-on-one. That time I don't allow it. I don't think it's... we have to be respectful, you know. This is... we have to be respectful, you know. If you go to church and you tell the padre that, hey, hang on a second, in the middle of the sermon, you take out a... I'm sure some old school people sitting at the back, way at the back, you know, he'll be like, this is Sunday, you know, Sundays is the only day I get to drink alcohol, I'm going to take my little swig of something. I'm sure people have done that. But if you tell the pastor or the priest or whoever it is and say, hang on a second, I need to take a swig of my tequila shot or my whatever, he'll be like, there's the door, go, right? So let's be respectful of that this is, for me, this is serious. This is spirituality. It deals with the higher self. And also you have to commit it with some sense of respect, right? As people who are asking for the readings, people who are wanting a private reading, if you come at this and sit at the table, or as in like come into the consultation with like, this is a bunch of nonsense, this is bah humbug, I don't care for it, I'm just here, nothing good will ever come of it. Nothing good will ever come of it. I'm also saying, I've said this time and time and again, when you come in for a reading, have an open mind. That's all I ask for. Have an open mind. But don't come at a reading with aggression or with a predetermined notion that you are going to shoot down everything. Everything I say, you're going to shoot. I have had consultations like that where people, they'll call me, they'll say, I have to have a reading, I have to have a reading. They'll wait 3 months, 4 months, etc. Then when the day comes and I do this reading, they are like literally every word I say. If I say day, they'll say night. If I say yes, they'll say no. Like they'll question they'll butt at everything I say and they'll question everything I say. So then I sit there and I say, dude, did you get on this reading just to have an argument with me? Right? If that's what you wanted, you didn't have to pay me for the consultation, man. You could have just said, hey, I want to have an adult conversation, you know, cerebral or intelligent conversation. When I say adult conversation, not with any weird innuendos, but intellectual conversation, and discuss about this. You know, don't, because then I kind of get annoyed. It's like, have you come here to make fun of me? So you go to college, you're sitting in the class and the professor is teaching you neuroscience, and then you don't know dang all, nothing, you don't know peanuts, okay, about neuroscience, but everything the professor says, who's probably got 30 years of experience, you keep questioning, butting heads with him and say he's wrong, he's wrong, he's wrong. He's going to stand up and say, you're nothing but a bottle of horse piss, get your ass out and get out of my class. Right? So be respectful of that, and I'll tell you, y'all, don't ever take these things lightly. What I mean is, I'm not saying you have to believe it. I mean, you don't believe it, you don't believe it, but don't ever insult or say derogatory things about any religion, any faith, any such spiritual thing, because trust me, it will not behoove you. I have had people come back and tell me things, and all those things I could go into a whole nother spiel and share those real life events that took place and how they have turned around to be believers because of whatever. So anywho, so again, a long video. This is not necessarily a reading or a particular case. I just wanted to come out and say a couple of things. Thank you again for your patience. Again, I tell you people, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't even bother. You know, I'm not being mad at y'all or anything like that. I just wanted to share with y'all, you know, how the things that happen behind the scenes and how people come at me, like, you know, the things they ask, their expectations, and we have to be real about what is possible, what isn't, right? That's basically what I was trying to say. So I do appreciate your patience and your kindness, and thank you in advance for watching this. And if this doesn't think, just click off, you know, just a little information. Thank you so much, and see you at the next video. Bye.